What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be talking about the top 10 small forwards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So lads, this is only going to be primary small forwards, and just ahead of, this is the weakest position. This is the weakest position that's not even close. Like, you're looking at these guys right here. This is the first page of small forwards. Look at the first page of power forwards. Yeah, a lot of bigger names right there. As well as that, looking at the two guards, obviously a lot more two guards. So the small forward primary position is honestly one of the weaker primary positions in general. It's not awful. Like, there are still some good cards, and obviously these lists are kind of hard to make because they have to try to take both gens into account. So I actually have the best next gen player number 2 and the best current gen / overall player at number 1, because I do think that the guy at number 1 is better on next gen than number 2 is on current gen. But anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're not going to hit it, but we're trying to hit 238,000 subscribers by the end of the weekend. Unfortunately, we're just not going to hit it, but it's fine. Still really do appreciate all the support on the channel. Trying to hit 240,000 subs by the end of the month. We are about 2,500 away in 10 days. So that's doable. It is definitely doable to hit 2.5k in 10 days. That's about 250 a day. It's going to be close, but we might do it. But anyway. Now let's get on to it. So honorable mentions. Guys that would be in the honorable mentions, I would say Hedo Turkoglu, next gen, because he's pretty good on next gen. We'd have Paja in the honorable mentions. Lou Hudson in the actually, Lou Hudson's a garbage man. I meant Junior Bridgman in the honorable mentions. Paul George, honorable mention. Ivo Timoteo Luau-Cabarro. Maybe Kevin Durant, Pink Diamond. Like, there really isn't many ones. And maybe you're going to have to go to, like, Diamond or something. There ain't even good. I mean, there's no even good Diamond ones. Amethysts? Heck, Michael Porter Jr. probably makes it as an honorable mention. Like, it's a weak position, lads. Just, I've said it plenty of times, but it's a weak position. So anyway, now let's get on to number 10. And number 10, we got Rick Barry. So Rick Barry, like, he's just a non-factor on defense. Offensively, he's fine. Like, Pro 1, he's got a terrible escape, but the Pro 2 between the legs, or Pro 8 between the legs, Pro 2 behind the back. Ace 3 is really good. He's also got hop range. Next gen hop blinders. I mean, no playmaking badges, like no defensive badges. I mean, I wouldn't lock in for him. I think locking in for him is an extremely dumb decision, but like, I mean, it's hard to put anyone else in this list. It's like, it's between him or like a Paul George, and I do think Rick Barry does shoot significantly better than them all. So he is coming on here. But again, he's a really nice shooter. He scores well on offense. If you need someone to score a bunch of points, you can do it, but like, just save your 750 tokens. Like, just wait for him to open up the token market maybe again. I know they haven't opened up the token market since December, but surely they have to open the token market again. But yeah, so he is at number 10. At number 9, we have got Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, he is good but flawed. So he's got no finishing badges inside. So like, he still can kind of dunk on people with the 90 dunk. At good speed. All the shooting badges are like Hall of Fame, and he's got Hall of Fame blinders for next gen. He can curry slide. He's got Paul Pierce release on quick, Pro 8, Pro 6 in between legs behind the back, which are good, and obviously like Hall of Fame clamps. I just don't like Paul Pierce. The problem is that his release is very difficult to time on next gen. It's actually it's cash on current gen. I will say that much. Like, if you're shooting wide open with Paul Pierce in current gen, you can hit so many shots. He's so easy to shoot with on current gen, but there's a problem. He steps in from the corners. So you can't play him at the 2. So if you're in any sort of a 5 out, he's going to be sitting in the corner. Heck, even if you're in a 4 out, 1 in, he's going to sit in the corners. And he can't shoot corner threes on current gen. Then next gen, his release is still not good. Even though it's on quick, it's usable. It's usable, but it's not great. But I think there's a bigger gap between Paul Pierce and Rick Barry than there is between Paul Pierce and number 1. Like, there are a lot of really similar like cards. From 9 to 1, they're all at some sort of a similar level. but I do think that there is a big gap between Rick Barry and Paul Pierce. Don't worry. There's a bigger gap between Rick Barry and Paul Pierce than Pierce and 1. But now we are on to number 8. Number 8, we got Opal Jimmy Butler. So yeah, he's got 9 less Hall of Fame badges. I just think Jimmy's better. I think that base 22 on quick is quite a bit better than the Paul Pierce release on quick. Pro 2 escape, Pro 2 size up, Pro 1 behind the back. He's also got 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 93 pointer. He's got a 96 lateral quickness, 96 pass perception, 95 perimeter defense, 90 driving dunk, gold range extender, only gold clones, but again, he feels good on defense. He gets good animations. I think Jimmy may have his own defensive stance. He may have his own defensive animations because he does get really good ones. Again, is he a good value card because he is still quite expensive? No, but is he good in general? Yeah. And Jimmy's going to be a more than usable card for quite a while, honestly. He's going to be a more than usable card for the next, probably till the end of the game, he's probably going to be usable. But he's got a lot of good things going for him. I just don't put him in that like elite tier. He's still pretty good. At number 7, we got Jack Marin. Jack Marin is basically just Jimmy Butler, but he's a better release. Simple as. You got to put Showtime on if you're on current gen. 90 speed, 90 acceleration. He's got 98 perimeter defense, which doesn't really matter, but he's got 93 lateral, 90 driving dunk as well. He has got 93 3 ball. Got gold clamps, only gold range. But like the thing with his releases is that it's Larry Bird on quick. He can curry as well. He's got Pro 7 cross. And my whole thing with Larry on quick is that it's one of the best releases in the game on current gen. He's actually got a way better upper than Larry Bird as well. And he's left-handed, which for me makes him a much better shooter. I think on current gen, he's way better than he is on next gen. On next gen, he has this weird load-up animation, which I don't really like. And it's just the way he moves, the way he plays. A lot of his like animations are very much current gen made. Whereas you can argue some players are better on next gen, and other guys are good on both. I do feel like there's some similar cards later on the list that I'm just like, Jack Marin's just not quite as good as them. Although he was a beast when he came out. Like he came out during season 4. He came out somewhat around the middle of season 4. He came out a week after Terry. I think Terry came out one Wednesday, and then the next Wednesday Jack Marin came out. And I'd spent so long going for Terry, and I didn't get him, and then I got Jack Marin like straight away. And I got Jack Marin the day he came out, and I do have a spare Jack Marin sitting in my rewards. Jack Marin, it was insanely good, and he still is. He still is to this day very, very good. Like, he wouldn't make my team, but it's tough to make my team at this stage. Then at number 6, we got Pink Diamond Gerald Wallace. So Pink Diamond Gerald Wallace defensively is top tier. He gets unbelievable defensive animations. You got to put range extender on him, but he's got half showtime. But range extender doesn't even cost anything anymore. Like, it's like 15k to range up somebody. He's got speed and acceleration of 94, 90 speed with ball. He's got 95 driving dunk. There is one problem with him. He is very much current gen made. He's got that showtime, and his dribble sigs are horrendous. Like, although he does have normal 2, which is alright, he does rely a lot on the burst. He's got the normal 1 escape, which is quite poor. He's got base 4 on quick, which is way better on current gen. If you are looking for a 3-and-D player who can act as both a cone and an elite defender, a fast break dunker, and maybe a tertiary ball handler, Gerald Wallace is a great card for that. If you're looking for him to like create or anything, he's not going to be up to much. And if you're looking for him on next gen, just trust me, just forget about it. Like, he's not awful. Like, he is not awful on next gen, but he's not a player that I would advise too many people to go out of their way and get, because he's just meh. And at number 5, we got Andre Iguodala. So Iggy's 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan. So he got a good wingspan. He's got half showtime, gold range extender, half clamps, all these insane defensive badges. I don't think he plays defense quite as well as Gerald Wallace, but he's just better at everything else. He's got 30 hoffs, 93 ball, 94 speed. He's got a 97 lateral quickness, a dunk of 95. In terms of his release, I don't like it on either gen, honestly. Profile behind the back's way better on current gen. He can curry slide. I don't mind it on next gen. I hate it on current gen. I really do. Like, I remember when I did my Iguodala gameplay with the Pink Diamond on next gen, and I was just like shooting around with him, and I was like, okay, his release is pretty decent. It's not great, but it's decent and it's quick. And I actually had not used Iguodala on current gen until I used this Opal, and I was very, very disappointed with his release. Like, I was shooting lates. A lot of that might be to do with latency, but I have to do this by my experience, and in my experience, that Iguodala release isn't great, but he's still really good. Like, again, just like the guys previous, he's a lot closer to, like, you can argue he's better than the number 1. This is just a kind of weak position where there's 9 guys that are pretty good, but like I wouldn't say any of them are spectacular. But yeah, Andre Iguodala is in here at number 5. At number 4, we got Cedric Maxwell, one of the free rewards. I'm just putting it out there. Cedric Maxwell is current gen made. He's god tier on current gen. Like, if we're talking current gen, he might be number 1. His release gets the weirdest load ups ever. Like, even weirder than Jack Marin. So he's got gold range. Like, on current gen, he's Tracy McJordan. Like, he's like Michael Jordan good with Tracy McGrady length. He's got gold range extender. He has got half showtime, half relentless finisher, half pro touch. He's got half clamps, hard crusher, intimidator, lightning reflex, off ball pass, pick dodger. Also get 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 85 3 ball, 95 driving dunk, 95 lateral quickness. Base 3 on quick, which again is one of the fastest releases in the game. Same as Rick Barry, same as Jared Jack, but he's a million times better on current gen than next gen. Pro 2 escape and size up. Pro 1 behind the back. So, like, again, he's a near perfect card, especially if you want to run him at the 2. Like, if you got a great card in your hands. You really got a great card in your hands if you completed unlimited. Is he a player that I would go out of my way to get? Maybe, maybe not. If you were to ask me who I would take, him or Ray Allen, I play on next gen, so Ray Allen. If I was on current gen, I would say Cedric. And if you were to ask me, like, who I would take, like, he's better. I think he's better on next gen than Iguodala. I think he's better than Iguodala on both gens. I think he is better than Jack Marin on both gens. I think he deserves his spot right here. Definitely better than Jimmy Butler on both gens. The top 3, the 3, 2, and 1 are guys that I think most people would say are better. And they're guys that are, one of them is significantly better on next gen, while worse on current gen. 2 of them I think are just slightly better cards. And then in a very, very slight one, at number 3, I'm going to put Terry Dishinger. I just think release-wise, Rudy Base, while it's very similar in terms of level on current gen, I think on next gen, Rudy Base just separates him. He's the Pro 2 escape. He's got half showtime, half range extender, only gold clamps, but he's still got a 7'3" wingspan. So he's got basically the same length, 94 driving dunk, and like, is there a bit of bias towards this card because I grinded 900 games to get him? Yeah, there might be. There really might be, like, but that just, again, is a sign of how good this card was, that there literally were people. There literally were people that were out here grinding thousands of games to get Terry Dishinger. And I know for a fact that Splash Edition, he went and ran Terry over Cedric Maxwell on 250. He didn't play Maxwell at all. He had him at the end of the bench. And he actually ran Terry Dishinger. Pretty sure Ty had Terry Dishinger in his squad as well. And he played minutes on both 250k squads, even when Maxwell was an option. I think Maxwell is, again, on next gen, I think there's not even a debate. Dishinger is better. But again, it's quite a close on current gen. And for that reason, I'm giving Terry the overall advantage. And at number 2, you can put this guy at number 9 if you want. If this is current gen, he's better than Pierce on current gen. I will say that. But he's number 9. But this is the number 1 on next gen, and I don't think it's particularly close. Detlef Schrempf. Detlef Schrempf is the best small forward on next gen, and it is not particularly close. Primary small forward. And I have Terry. Like, I have Terry, I don't have Detlef, so there's no, like, there's nothing to me saying. He's not a budget player. He's 100k. Like, he's relatively expensive. Yes, the only problem is his speed. He's only got, like, 88 speed, but again, you put D'Antoni on him, a floor general player that's like 95, it's more than good enough. 93 3 ball, decent enough driving dunk, really solid defense stats, gold clamps, half intimidator and hard crusher. But the big thing, Gallo base is one of the best releases in the game. It's one of the easiest releases to green, and he can curry. And if you're on next gen, Hall of Fame blinders. Like, if I was to use someone as a primary ball handler in TTO, or even just as a primary scorer, like, his dribble style as well, I'm pretty sure is a good one. You got quick dribble style, so we can quick stop. Like, when I'm running through, you can see it when I'm playing online. You've seen anytime I have played 5v5. Like, my main man, the guy that I've been running everything through, has been Jose Calderon, because he's got quick dribble style, which means he can quick stop, he can burst well as having Hall of Fame blinders and curry slide. And he's got all of these, and instead of being 6'3", he's 6'9". Like, if you want to play the way the game is played on next gen, he is number 1. It's not even close. On current gen, he's pretty good as well. Like, but he's probably like Jimmy Butler, Jack Marin. I don't know. Actually, maybe you could put him above Gerald Wallace, but I don't think he's above Iguodala on current gen. But on next gen, he's the best, and it's by far. Like current gen, he can hit really wide open catch and shoot shots. Goal showtime's all right, and he can hit some post hooks. And that's really what he does on current gen. But on next gen, he's really not like. There's no one even close. There's no one even close. And then you're looking at the top of the screen. I've given away number one. Number one is Wiggins. Wiggins is, in my opinion, he's better than Terry Dishinger. I've used both of them on current gen. I think he's better than Terry Dishinger on both gens. Actually, maybe Terry's a slight advantage on next gen, but I think Wiggins is better on current gen. And the difference is that, like, Wiggins, Maxwell, Andre Iguodala, I think his release is better than both of these guys. Wiggins is like a way better version of, where's Jimmy? Jimmy Butler. Wiggins is a way better version of Jimmy. Like, they both have Curry slide. They both have base 22 on quick. But you've got 2906 total stats and 70 in hot badges. But you've got 27 hot badges to it and basically the same stats on Wiggins. And you've also got much better length. He's an inch taller with a much longer wingspan. So, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, Hall of Fame showtime. He's got gold range. Again, half range is that little bit extra OP on next gen, I will admit that. But he feels as good as Terry on next gen. He's got half clamps, half hard crusher, half intimidator as well. He's got like an 88 steal, obviously good length, 95 lateral quickness, Pro 7 cross, Pro 1 behind the back, base 22 on quick. And again, he does everything. He shoots, he dunks, he plays defense. He handles the ball. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? But again, he's number one, even though I don't actually think he's the number one. Number one on current gen is probably either Cedric or Terry. Number one on next. Actually, no, sorry. He's arguably number one. Him, Cedric, Terry are very similar. Again, Cedric Maxwell, a couple of extra badges, but I do much prefer Wiggins on next gen. So it's probably Cedric number one, Wiggins 2, Terry 3 on current gen. Or maybe Terry above Wiggins. Or, like, these guys are all so similar. They really are. Like, there's no point in me trying, like, it's hard to rate these guys. This guy's just the next gen god. This guy's just the next gen god. But these three guys, it is hard to put them in any order. And I can guarantee you that the order of these guys changes all the time. I think these guys are more in the debate for number one because it's very tight on next gen and current gen which of these guys are better. But I'm going to say overall Wiggins number one. But if I made this list tomorrow, I might have Terry number one and Wiggins number three. It's also very, very difficult to rate Detlef Schrempf because he's number one on next gen. It's not anyway close. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So we got number 10, Rick Barry. Number 9, Paul Pierce. Number 8, Jimmy Butler. Number 7, Jack Marin. Number 6, Gerald Wallace. Number 5, Andre Iguodala. Number 4, Cedric Maxwell. Number 3, Terry Dishinger. Number 2, Detlef Schrempf. And number 1, Andrew Wiggins. In my opinion, the top 4 have kind of really separated themselves, and Rick Barry is just there because there's only 9 high-level small forwards. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.